Hello, School of Passionate Pursuit, and I wanted to do a video on Evernote. I'm sure that if you are in the homeschooling community, you have probably heard of it, and you're probably like, what in the world is Evernote? Or maybe you've used it for your job or something else like that. But I wanted to come to you and tell you how we use it for our unschooling journey. And I'm really excited about this because I think it has been just the most amazing blessing to me and my family and how we do what we do as unschoolers. A lot of people think, contrary to popular belief, they think that unschooling is just hands off. And for us, it couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, we are very, very involved and intentional about the environment and the things that we expose our children to on a daily basis. And so I just kind of want to show you how we use Evernote and how it is a blessing to us and really helps us keep track of what our children are learning, even though we are very, very, very passionate about child-led learning, very passionate about unschooling and what it offers our children when it comes to freedom of expression. I just want to make sure that I show you how we track that, because some people are like, I just can't let go to that point where I don't know what they're doing or if they're even learning. Well, you know, I myself was a pretty anal person and very structured, and so it was hard for me to let go and not be able to at least have a track record of what it was that we were doing. And so I would like to give kudos to Sue Elvis, who actually did a video on Evernote and showed how she uses Evernote with her family. We do it, some things we do similar, some things we do slightly different. So I thought I would do a video for those that may be interested in. You could be a traditional homeschooler, you could be Charlotte Mason, whatever it is that you call yourself. That's really not the point. The point is that Evernote is a really, really, really awesome tool to be able to utilize, whether you're planning ahead, whether you're an unschooler and you're tracking what it is that you're doing. It is just really a great tool. And unless you are doing oodles and oodles of entries like I do, you could probably get away with the free version anyway. But I do a lot with Evernote, so I have a monthly subscription for the premium version. A lot of people also think that unschooling is completely void of structure of any kind. And I wouldn't say that it's void of structure completely. I would say that it is a different kind of structure, I guess I could say, because we do have some sort of structure in our household. I just think it's a different kind. What we do and how we do what we do is very intentional. We don't really, I guess I can't say we leave things up to chance, so to speak. We pay very close attention, and we are very in tune with what each of our 6 children are doing, what they're passionate about, and what they're working on. And so we're very involved. And as far as strewing things about, I'll talk more about strewing in a moment, and how we use Evernote to even help us with that. So very excited to share. As you can see, this is our home screen here, and over here we have our notebooks. And if you're familiar with Evernote at all, if you're not familiar with Evernote at all, you probably want to get off of this presentation and go do some research on Evernote. And then come back and take a look at how you can utilize it as an unschooler or homeschooler. So there's a lot out there. I just want to tell you how we use it to track our unschooling learning experiences. But here, over here on the left-hand side, you will see a notebook section. And under this section is where I have lots of the things that I collect information on, articles, links, all kinds of information. So I started using it in February, but I went back as far as December, as far as tracking things that I can remember that we had done. I also have collect recipes in Evernote, resources, storing ideas, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then each month, at the beginning of the month, I create a new folder that shows exactly what our learning opportunities and all the learning activities that our children have done, all 6 of them, during that particular month. And so I'm going to actually do that first before I do anything else. So we're going to go to February, which is where we are at here. You can see this column. Here I'm going up and down, just so you can kind of see. I am a picture fanatic, so I take pictures of any and everything. One of my daughters, my oldest daughter, says that every day is picture day in our house because I am crazy, crazy, crazy when it comes to taking pictures. And so what I do is I take pictures on my cell phone, and I pretty much label the picture with whatever it is that it represents that they are doing, and then I send it to Evernote through the my Evernote app on my phone. Every 15 minutes I have it structured to sync to the computer, and so what you're looking at is the actual computer screen. But very, very, very excited about showing you this. I just want to give you a kind of an example. Now let's go down. Let's see here. Let's pick every day. This is an example. Now open that up just so you can see. This is an example. Every single day, generally from 7:30 to 8:45, we have quiet reading time in our home. And generally takes place either in our resource room or upstairs in their bedrooms, wherever. But that is the time where the children, everything shut down, no electronics, no TV, for that last hour and a half or so before bed, where children are reading. Either we read to them, they read to each other, they read to themselves. But that just kind of shows you an example of that particular activity. I'll go up here and give you an example of one of the activities that one of my daughters did. She is very passionate about the human body, and so I described here, she watched brain and heart surgeries as she observed her foam heart and brain molds and identified the parts. She also played surgery games, and so it shows pictures of what it is that she did that day, and it also shows it gives a description. And then I go up here. Every single child has a list of tags. Her initials are JU, and so that was JU Science for that day. So that kind of gives you an example of how we track what it is that they're doing. I am roaming the house all day, every day, checking out what it is that they're into, what projects that they're on, asking them about projects that they've started before, if I can help, if they need more resources, more books, what is it that I can do to further that study or whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish at the time. Okay, so sometimes if I'm too busy to get on my phone and to transition, or post the pictures or post the post, I would actually use my journal. So if you feel like, oh my God, I am just not a techie person and I don't think that I can handle inputting this stuff out every day, it's really not that much. I'll input it in my journal, basically write it down, write the child's name down, what it is that they did, take pictures. At the end of the day, it takes me maybe 15 minutes, if that, to just send all the information to Evernote, and it records it for that day, and it shows all of the learning experiences they've had. Give you another example. My oldest daughter is taking a introduction to public speaking class, and she's doing an amazing job, I must say. And so up here I tagged it as her initial was N. I tagged it as business, leadership. It has a link to the actual class that she's taking on Coursera.com, and it shows that it took place on this day in February. And so that's one way to see what she did that day. Here I have two little guys that were working on one of their favorite sites, which is Khan Academy. Actually, no, this one isn't Khan Academy. I'm sorry. Well, actually, both of them were working on YouTube math videos on YouTube. We have a playlist that each of them have that they have on their individual pages, which I'll show you in a moment. You'll be able to see what their actual strewing pages look like. But so I had three little guys on that day doing math on the computer. And so it has their initials and the fact that they did math that day. Do they do math absolutely every day? No, they do not. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. We have, so some of the inputs, some of the things that I input do have pictures. Some of them do not have pictures. I may have just put, okay, I'm like this person. T is for my oldest son, life skills. He was dinner boss that day. That meant that he either made or organized the entire dinner session for the family. So that was something pretty exciting to do. My oldest daughter is passionate about fashion, so she's taking a course through Little Fashion Runway. This shows her doing one of her assignments through that class. And then it shows fashion is one of her tags, so it shows her initials and fashion. We have videos that we've watched. You have websites that we have visited, books that we have read. This is a series that my daughter read in just a few days. She absolutely loved it. So I took a picture of the books, and then it was mostly, well, obviously reading, but most of it had to do with history and geography. And then my oldest son here, giving an example, took a class on natural disasters. And so I put the link there, and as you can see, T is his initial in science. And so that kind of gives you an example of what, what kind of things that we do. This little guy, my 7-year-old, is extremely passionate about math. He has an really uncanny desire to know about numbers. And man, was he excited when he found out that numbers never end. I think that he just about passed out when I told him that. But this just talks about him doing skip counting that day and the little guy watching on, which is what I love about having so many children of different ages, because they learn so much from each other. But as you can see, we have a lunch boss gaining life skills here, making lunch for the family that day. And so we have all kinds of activities and all kinds of tags to be able to show you what it is that they are learning. I have 2 of my sons that were working on programming a robot to follow specific instructions. And so it shows here that both of them got credit for math and science that day, because it required both of those bodies of knowledge to pull that off, and they did a great job at doing that. And again, I'm going up and down and up and down just to kind of show you what it is that how we record our learning experiences. All day, every day, I am snapping shots of what it is that they are doing and making sure that I record it. Now, if I forget to record it again, or I don't have time to record it, I write it in my journal. Even if it's a couple days later, I can go back and I can download the pictures and input the information and tag them as the subject that it falls under. And I still have the information that I need. And so just kind of wanted to show you that, because it has really, really, really changed. Anytime you have any doubt, are my kids learning? Oh my God, are they ever? It just shows you what it is exactly that they are learning. So let's go back over here to the left, and you can see the other months. And every month has one. I have what in the unschooling circles you will hear the word strewing. And strewing is basically a way of putting, without force, putting resources and information all over the house and all over the environment where your children can pick up and explore, not by force, not forcing it down their throat or saying you have to do this or you have to do that, but just little hints of information and resources and activities that kind of spark fires and help you understand how to help them, gain more knowledge in areas that are of interest to them. So I do that physically around our house with all kinds of activities, and we make sure that we have a very resource-rich environment. But I also do that electronically, and so I wanted to show you that. That's why I have this strewing ideas section, and every child has their own page. So I'm going to go to, let's see, my oldest son's page. Let me open this up so that you can see it a little further. Basically, on this page, or every child's page, there is a set of links, and I am always adding to this information. So this isn't stuff that just stays the same. I always add new information to the top of the page. And so he is very passionate about science. He's very passionate about leadership and business and engineering and all kinds of, things. He has a variety of interests. And so I try to make sure that I feed those thirsts with a variety of resources for him. But as you can see, you will see a description of a link, engine playlist. Well, he got an engine out one day that I had bought him a couple years ago for Christmas that he had never done anything with. And he just decided, hey, I think I'm going to build this. So as he got more and more excited about building it, I got my behind on the computer and created an engine playlist on YouTube for him. And so, again, that's one of the ways that, unschooling is very, 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 can be intense, especially when you have 6 kids, because you are literally trying to find out how to strew and keep information and resources in front of them all day long in 6 different areas, 6 different passions, 6 different roads. And so, yes, it can be intense and it can be very busy. No, I do not sit down a lot, but it's very rewarding seeing them just blossom into awesome kids and really seeing who they actually are. So, but I wanted to show you, you can go all the way down. I mean, we have things on here. Most of his has to do with science and engineering, and I would say just about everything on his does, if you can see. Some money management, some other things, but for the most part, you'll see that a lot of it has to do with engineering and science and medicine and chemistry and design and all that kind of stuff. So those are the things that he loves. And as he shows interest in other things, then I will begin to add to his strewing page. So on any given day, my kids will say, Mom, can I get on my page? They're so excited to get on the page because they know that Mom has been searching and there's probably at least 5 or 6 new links on their strewing page that they can explore and get excited about. So very, very, very happy about that. Let's get out of this one. And I'll show you one more before I move on. Don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just wanted you to understand how we do what we do. This is my oldest daughter. She's very passionate about fashion. She's passionate about Paris and French and business, poetry, writing, cooking. She's very artsy young lady. But she also likes a lot of history and things of that nature. So you'll see a lot of links and all kinds of things that have to do with the things that I just mentioned. And again, I am always adding to these pages, and so they have the opportunity to go to the page and just have a ball. And they all love them. They love these pages. So, and I am always creating YouTube playlists for each of the kids in the areas that they're passionate about. Now, one of my favorite sections is my resources section. So as you can see here, all of these sections have to do with areas that I collect links, articles, information, and resources for. So all the playlists that I have created on YouTube, I have a link right there for that. And then I have parenting and family life information, articles I want to read, things that, hey, we can always get better at what we do. So those kinds of things. I have a page on dysgraphia and dyslexia, ADHD, movies for kids, college information, college applications, all of that kind of stuff. Entrepreneurial resources, as well as information on great innovators and testimonials for kids, great books, reading tips, languages, school materials and products, volunteer and missions, awesome websites, creative writing, art, living math. I'll go into that one. So this one has all kinds of links and articles and activities and online game sites for math and math instruction K through 12. And so it gives us the opportunity when our children are studying something and it requires math or perfecting a math skill, that we're able to pull from any of these links and games and things of that nature and help them with that. So it becomes a more natural process than a sit down and do 50 worksheets kind of thing. So our favorite, because we're very big on science around here, is our science and engineering page. It is chock full of resources and all kinds of stuff, as you can see. So any and everything that we would need to access, trust me, I have a link or a website for it. So unschooling articles, if I just want to read more, get more ideas, things of that nature, history and geography, technology. So that is my resource page. Now, last but not least, that I would like to show you are our tags, because many people say, okay, you show me the pictures, all that's exciting. But here are our tags. Each of my children have a group of tags. This is D, as you can see. He has a group of tags that when I take a picture and I describe the picture as to what activity it was that he was doing, what learning opportunity he was engaged in, I tag it based on life skills, art, business, creative writing, or language arts, engineering, history, geography, leadership, math, PE, reading, science, technology, travel, and volunteerism. And so everyone has at least those, and then they may have a few more that apply to them, like my oldest daughter would have fashion added to hers. Everyone has leadership added to theirs, because we're very big on them learning how to be great leaders. So any and everything, that you can think of, and I add to these tags all the time, because there may be something that I'm teaching that doesn't fall under any of this, and so I can tag that, and then what I can do is, let me give you an example. D for science, one of his favorite things. I can click on D-science. It's not wanting to cooperate right now with me. There we go. So we have D for science. And as you can see, it will show me all of the opportunities during that month that he had to express his passion in science in different ways, shapes, and forms, whether it was physics, chemistry, biology, whatever it was. If he watched something, if he had a hands-on experience, whatever it was, you will see both the picture and the description of that opportunity. And so let's try one more. Let's try to go for in creative writing, which is pretty exciting. This is my oldest daughter, and she loves to write. So this shows all of her opportunities and everything that she did that particular month. The classes that she took a class in the art of poetry. She took classes in public speaking. Writing is part of her daily regimen, and that is her self-initiated daily regimen. She loves to write short stories, loves to write poems, and she loves to read. And so these are things that I don't even have to ask her to do. They're probably done before I'm even awake. So just wanted to show you guys how we do what we do and how we track learning, and that, that it is very intentional and that it is very passionate, and that it's not hands-off at all the way most people would think an unschooler would be. So just wanted to come show you quickly how it works in our household, how involved we actually are in our children's learning process, and wanted you to see if Evernote would be something that you could use for your unschooling journey or for your homeschooling journey when it comes to planning. But I hope that was a blessing to you. I hope that I was able to open your eyes as far as how Evernote could be used for that. And we'll be coming to you in another video very soon showing more of what our average day looks like. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got a lot out of it. Bye-bye.